Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reacting to Super Bowl 58, the Chiefs versus the 49ers. The final score of 25-22. This one hurt. I was rooting for the 49ers. I wanted them to win so badly, but now apparently we have a dynasty. We have back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, winning this game. The Swifties were on a roll last night cheering. In the first half of this game, it was kind of boring, not gonna lie. Halftime show was lit. But when we got the second half, things kind of pick up the pace. We went to overtime. There's a lot of things we need to talk about because the 49ers, in a way, pretty much, Kyle Shanahan choked again. What I'm going to do in this video is kind of go through, just break down the game from what I saw from my vantage point. Do I think the Chiefs took this game? Did the 49ers give this game away? Was there things that the Chiefs could have done to possibly maybe win this game by more, maybe not even go to overtime? Was there things the 49ers could have done to possibly win this game by not going to overtime? And let me tell you, there's a couple of things we need to talk about in this game because there was a few things that the 49ers did, even one of those things. One of these things, they win this game very handily. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, 22-25, it was a great game. Like I said, it was a great game. Fun game, up and down. You had your slow start. Everybody was like, this is like a snooze fest. What the hell are we watching? Because we thought coming to this game, we were going to see like a 17-21, especially after last year's Super Bowl, 24-14. We were like, we want that kind of game. And I'm not going to lie, everybody should have saw this game kind of coming. We knew the 49ers defense was really legit. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Arik Armstead, all these guys, they were ready to play. And then the Chiefs defense, the way they've been playing this second half of the season, they've been just on a tear. I think they're rated like the number 4 overall defense in the league in the second half of the season. We knew they were going to be a force to be reckoned with. So I expected if it was going to be a low scoring game. A couple of things I want to get out of the way. I said before the game happened, I said back in my game preview, I said the way the 49ers win this game, the X factor was if McCaffrey goes off, which he did, I thought they were going to win the game. If he didn't go off, they weren't winning this game. McCaffrey gave him 80 rushing yards and 80 scrimmage yards. He did his job. Let's say that. He did his job. When it comes to Brock Purdy, 23 of 38, 255 yards, a touchdown. In a way, he did his job. I would have liked to see the number more around like a 20 of 30 passing, not 38 passes. Not even that, not even 30, 25 passes at most. Mahomes going 34, 46, we expected that. To be fair, this entire postseason and even most of the season, he's been more on the under when it comes to pass attempts. If people were like, when it comes to betting, people have said, it seems like you want to bet the under when it comes to Mahomes. Because they've been so into like this run offense, just running the ball. And they were still doing that in this game. They were running the ball in the first half, but they obviously only came away with 3 points. They were not able to get the ball to Kelsey that much. I think in the first half, he had like 2 catches total. And he was not happy. He was not happy. You all saw the clip of him up against Andy Reid bumping him. That turned into a meme overnight. But looking at the whole flow of the game, like I said, first half, it was slow. We didn't get any scores in the first quarter. Second quarter, we got a field goal. Then the touchdown. That was a great touchdown. It was like a screen pass to Juwan Jennings. We thought he was going to take it, but then it's like he looked back, and that ball was in the air for at least like a good 3 to 4 seconds going to McCaffrey. He caught it, and he ran in the end zone. We had the late half field goal from the Chiefs. We were thinking, okay, they're going to score this field goal, but then they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They're going to make something happen. Nope. Patrick Mahomes threw an interception, but what happened? They didn't capitalize. They had the ball, like I think like the 42-yard line, and what did they do with it? Nothing. When you get the ball at the 42-yard line, you need to at least go get like 5 yards. Like, you're a great running team. Let's run the ball. But instead, what did they do? I think they tried to throw the ball, got nothing. They then tried to run the ball where obviously the Chiefs know now, okay, you're going to run the ball this time. So they go and try to run the ball, and they go nowhere. And then they try to throw the ball again, and they get absolutely nothing. So you get an interception. You turn the ball over from Patrick Mahomes. Something that is very difficult to do in the playoffs. I think he, before the game, was like 11-0 when it comes to touchdown to interception ratio. So you get the interception in the Super Bowl at the 42-yard line, and you get 0 points. Not even 3 points. As we get into the second half, we had the third quarter where they had the field goal. And in that moment, I was thinking, okay, the defense is playing good. The defense is shutting them down. Defense goes back out there. They shut them down again. Chiefs go ahead and punt the ball. And what happened? The worst thing possible could happen. As you can see right here, you can see this image. Basically, what happened if you didn't watch the game, the ball got punted. The returner basically called out like 911, or like I think the analyst Tony Romo said was called Peter. It's what they're supposed to scream, Peter, 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 to let everybody know, get out of the way. I'm not catching this ball. This ball is going to be rogue. It's going to be bouncing everywhere. And apparently the other gunner didn't hear him. He got the ball clipped on his ankle. The ball went rolling. At that point, the ball is fair game for anybody to grab. The returners had to go down and pick up the ball as it's bouncing around. He wasn't able to get it cleanly, and the Chiefs ended up getting it. Chiefs got the ball. They went ahead and scored the touchdown. It was a little like sling pass over to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I thought it was kind of funny. People coming into this game said Valdes-Scantling was going to do absolutely nothing in this game. He got a touchdown pass. Then later on in the game, 49ers were able to bounce back. They got a touchdown, but the extra point got blocked. After that, it was just a shit ton of field goals. It was kind of back and forth field goal game. The defenses were getting tired. And obviously, we went to overtime. Here's the thing that I do want to now talk about. Obviously, we now know the game ended with the Chiefs winning. I want to now go through everything that kind of impacted the 49ers, because we now know the Chiefs, they just find ways to win. They find ways to win. I want to go through and talk about every single way the 49ers basically gave this game away, and if they would have just done one of these things better or capitalized on one of these opportunities, they win this game. First up, in the very first drive of the game, the 49ers were driving down the field. I think they were like 20, 25 yard line, somewhere around there, in field goal range. And what happens? They hand the ball off to McCaffrey. He gets like 6, 7 yards. I'm thinking, man, keep feeding McCaffrey. And then all of a sudden, strip the ball out, fumble. The ball is loose. The Chiefs get the ball. And I'm just thinking, we come into this game with McCaffrey being the focal point. He needs to be the one to carry the team. And he's not even able to carry the ball. How are you supposed to carry the team, but you can't even hold on to the fucking ball? The turnovers were out of control, like I said, with the muff punt a second ago. That was crazy. The Chiefs, they had a fumble. I think it was whenever they got down the field, it was still like 3-0. They had the huge throw down the field to Mecole Hardman. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Where the hell is the secondary at? And then they got the fumble, and I was thinking, man, that is a huge momentum swing. So the fumbles were just hurting both teams, and like I said, with the Mahomes interception, so we had 2 turnovers from both teams. The next thing isn't really something that kind of impacted the 49ers per se entirely. This impacted both teams. Did the refs just like go into this game saying, we're not going to call any holding calls except for maybe like 1 or 2 the entire game? Like, I swear to God, the only holding calls they called was when the 49ers, I think backup tight end, held the Chiefs edge rusher when Elijah Mitchell, I think was the running back, was trying to do a little stretch run, and he got caught on a hold. There was that one, and then the hold on the secondary of the Chiefs getting called on a hold when I think it was Brandon Ayuk was trying to run down the field, go for a go route, and the corner from the Chiefs got held up. He got beat. He tried to hold the guy, got called for a hold there. Other than that, no holds. And you can't tell me, oh, maybe they just played a clean game. Maybe both offensive linemen did pretty good. No, they did not. There's a TikTok page. I'll see if I can put the link in the description to this guy's TikTok page. He did a pretty funny video where he was basically going through the game, watching the game, and he's kind of dressed up as a ref, and he shows every single time he sees a hold, he's like, right there, hold, and he's circling it, and he's showing, and it's like ridiculous. The amount of times where Nick Bosa was held, oh my God. Coming into the game back on, I think, Monday, whenever they were doing the whole press conferences, they were asking, like, what do you see in the offensive line with the Chiefs? Because, like, he's one of his matchups. He's going to be going against offensive linemen. They asked him, what do you see at this Chiefs offensive line that he's going to be maybe a trouble for you? And he just said, straight up, very first words, well, you know, they hold a lot. And they did exactly that. I think Juwan Taylor's the name of the left tackle or right tackle, whoever. He was holding Nick Bosa like he was fucking holding on to his Christmas present. Or as if he just won the fucking lottery and he wasn't going to let go of his lottery ticket. And like, you can look at the penalties and you can say, well, they both got 6 penalties, so they were kind of treated fairly. Yes, but I'm saying there could have been so many more penalties. I believe there was the one pass in the third quarter, fourth quarter, somewhere in there, where Mahomes got a ball to Travis Kelce. Kelce caught it, went for like 15, 20 yards. There was a hold on Nick Bosa getting held by Juwan Taylor, coming off the edge where he just like got thrown, his whole head wrapped up around his neck by Juwan Taylor, and it should have been called a hold. You know what happened? The ref just kind of looked at it and said, keep playing. The next thing that pretty much impacted the game that could have shifted things entirely, in the second half, what do we see from the first half? Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. What do we see in the second half? The Chiefs realized they had to kind of switch up their momentum because they weren't doing anything. They need to start trying to go more tempo, get the pass game growing, which they did. We see Mahomes' stats. They got the pass game going, and it helped them. What was the 49ers offense in the first half? Run the ball, run the ball. But guess what? It was working for them. So they decided in the second half, we're going to come out and we're going to start throwing the ball a shit ton. I think they had like a 11 passes to 2 run plays ratio in the second half or in the third quarter for like the first 3 drives. And guess what? It didn't work. I think their first 3 drives, they went 3 and out. And then the 4th drive, they finally got a first down, but they still did nothing with it. If you don't follow me on Twitter, link in the description. But basically on Twitter, as the game was going on, I put out my frustrations and like kind of the way I was thinking about the game. And I put out on there something along the lines of like, hey, Kyle Shanahan, why are you not fucking running the ball? Because it's like when the run game was working in the first half, why would you go away from it? I realize you're up 10-3. You just got that turnover. You want to put the foot on the Tigers' neck. You just want to beat them down. But sometimes it's not going to work entirely that way. Especially when the run game was working. If you can just keep moving the ball down the field through running the ball, beat up the defense, and still come away with 6 points every single time, why would you go away from that? Now, I will agree in some cases when they did throw the ball, Brock Purdy missed his throws. There was a throw, I think, in the second quarter whenever they got down the field and actually got the touchdown. I forget who the receiver was that he threw it to that caught the ball. It was like the deep in-breaking route. They caught the ball, and they took a big hit, but they caught the ball deep down the field. I think it was a deep angle route. It was either Debo or Ayuk. If Brock saw that man, the safety was nowhere near. I think the safety was like a good 5-yard separation from him. If Brock could have put that ball out there to the back pylon, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. I think that was actually the very first, or one of the first couple drives of the game whenever they got the first 3 points of the game. If he would have thrown that ball to the back pylon, It was a touchdown. And don't give me that bullshit about he couldn't make that throw. He was at like the 45-yard line. He could have made that throw. Now, a little side note, kind of something that could have impacted the game a little bit. When they scored the touchdown to go up 16-13, they got the extra point blocked. If they made that extra point, 17-13 might have impacted the game a little bit, but I don't really think so. I just want to kind of add that little nugget in there to say it could have changed things, but I don't think it would have. Just in case anybody out there is wondering, like, man, if they made the extra point, things could have changed. I think it could have impacted ways of maybe how the score would have went for the Chiefs would have instead of for field goals or not. But I think, in all honesty, I think the Chiefs wanted to score touchdowns down the stretch. It's just the field goals were kind of a blessing in disguise in a way. And the last few things that kind of impacted the game a lot, these actually impacted the game a lot for the 49ers. 3rd and 5, 2-minute warning. You had the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs had 2 timeouts. You get this first down, you ultimately win the game. You were at 16-16. You're in field goal range. You are at 3rd and 5. Obviously, they didn't get the first down, but they took the field goal and they were able to go up 19-16. Now, in that moment, you kind of say, well, the defense has to step up. But think about it. You get that first down, and they tried to do like a little pick route, slant route to, I think it was the Debo, and the ball got knocked away. If Debo gets that ball and he gets the first down, Chiefs have to burn a timeout, do the math. It's down about like a minute 56, minute 57. You run another play, and you're down to about a minute 53, maybe minute 52, depending on how much time goes off the clock. They call their last timeout. You're at 2nd down now. Now you can go knee, about a minute 12, knee, down to about a minute, or down to like 30 seconds. You kick that field goal, and I realized Mahomes has scored a field goal in less than 13 seconds, but this time he would have no timeouts with like maybe like 29 seconds to go, and you have a real shot to win the Super Bowl. But instead of not getting the first down, you then gave Mahomes a little over a minute and 50, minute and 55 seconds with 2 timeouts to go get a field goal. That is a lot of time. Too much time, to be honest. Don't get me started on the fact that they had him pinned at like the 3rd and 9 at like the 35, 36-yard line. Could have made it a long field goal, even though Harrison Butker probably would have made the field goal still. They could have at least made it a little bit tougher, but instead they got a Travis Kelce on a little drag route. He caught the ball. Very well could have scored a touchdown if that corner didn't knock him out of bounds. Like, if that corner didn't knock him out of bounds, that's a touchdown. But instead, he got knocked out of bounds. They set up for the field goal, went to overtime. Now, in overtime, there was the play. I can't show it on screen, obviously. But whenever the 49ers got down there in the red zone, they had a chance to get the touchdown. It was like 3rd and 4, I believe, 3rd and 6, somewhere in there. They had, I think, Juwan Jennings. He had like a little in, cut, zig up. I don't know what the terminology of what it is, but it looked like he was going like a slant, but then he zigged back out, and then he was going to go up. As he was going up, he was ready for the ball. That was a touchdown. If Brock Purdy could somehow layer that ball to get up there, and I think Brock Purdy couldn't easily make that throw, that is a touchdown. You're up 7 points in overtime, and even if the Chiefs went down, got a touchdown again like they did to ultimately win the game, you can at least go to a double overtime. It'd be the first double overtime in Super Bowl history. It's more football that we probably didn't expect, but it would at least give you still that fighting chance. But the reason why it didn't work, Chris Jones blew that play up. People are not talking about this. People are looking at Brock Purdy saying, man, he missed throws. Man, he didn't pull up clutch. Man, he didn't do this, that, blah, 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 blah. Last time I checked, Chris Jones was just a fucking wrecking crew out there. He was blowing up the offensive line. In the first quarter, he was a little MIA. Things were not going his way. But as the game went on, he started to kind of figure out, okay, when they go this way, but sometimes they might come back this way, I need to kind of hold my ground, stay right. Okay, it's pit play action, go for the quarterback. And he was making Brock Purdy's life a living hell. And that's exactly what he did on that 3rd and 4th and 6th play, like I said. He got in there, and he was able to shut it down. If the offensive lineman could have given him even like a half a second more, he probably would have stood there, he would have lofted it up, probably taken the hit, it would have hurt, but he would have got that ball out there to been a touchdown. And then Patrick Mahomes, when he goes down there, they wouldn't have been able to take their time and trying to settle for this field goal. They would, or maybe even run the clock out to go get the touchdown. They would have probably had to try to realize, okay, we really do need this touchdown. And last thing I want to talk about is, first up, Dre Greenlaw. I wish him the best. That dude, how? The dude got injured celebrating on the sideline. They were getting ready to come on the field after a punt. The defense was going on the field. He was jumping up and down, and then as he went to run onto the field, I guess his heel or his foot, toe, something got caught up in the turf. It was real grass, which is the weird part. He got caught in grass, and his foot got caught, popped his Achilles, and he was basically done for the season, done for the game, done for the season, etc. I feel for that man, and the sad part is, I think if anybody is wondering, like, what's the X factor, what was the reason that the Chiefs was able to win this game, him going out was the reason they lost. Because he was shutting down Mahomes, he was basically the leader of this defense, in a way, the unspoken leader of this defense, and with the second he went down, I feel like the defense just lost all hope. And it's sad to say, and I don't understand how he got hurt just jumping up and down, but it sucks. And the last little thing that we're going to probably talk about in another video at some point in the future, the NFL, with this new rule about how both teams get a chance with the football, it's already been released now that the 49ers didn't even know how the rules went for the overtime rules, even though the ref literally spoke them over the overhead speaker. Apparently they didn't know these rules, but the way it works now is, in overtime, whether you score a field goal or a touchdown, the other team's going to get a chance at the football. The 49ers won the coin toss. Usually in overtime, you want the ball first because you're going to score and you win the game. But now with these rules, you get a chance with the ball if you are not the team to win the coin toss. It's almost like college rules. College rules, you don't want the ball first. You want the other team to have the ball first, because that a very interesting point that was talked about some of the morning shows this morning. When the Chiefs got the ball in the second time around, 49ers went down, got the field goal, Chiefs got the ball. They were at 3rd and 1. They ran the ball. It went to 4th and 1. In that moment on 4th and 1, they had to go for it, obviously, because they're down 3. They can't punt the ball. They're trying to go win the game. So what happened? They go for it. If they didn't have the ball first, if they had the ball first, they might have punted the ball there, because they might have looked at it as, if we don't get this, the 49ers are going to get this ball at literally right here at the 35-yard line, I think is where they were at. And the 49ers can literally just line up and kick the field goal and win the game. We don't want that to happen, so we're probably going to punt the ball. It does play a mind game strategy of, you're going to want to take the ball second, because then you can go see, what does Mahomes do? Did he score a touchdown? Did he score a field goal? Then we know what we need to do when we go out there. But overall, looking at the game, like I said from the very beginning, it was a great game, fun game. Swifties are going nuts. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they got their 3rd ring together. Chris Jones, I think this is now also his third ring. So congratulations to all of them. Andy Reid, good job to him. People are starting this discussion of if Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback ever. Fuck no. He needs 8 rings. And before anybody says, well, Brady got 7, why can't he have 7 too? Brady beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl and an AFC title game. So fuck off. Until Mahomes gets 8, Brady's still the GOAT. But that's going to wrap up the 2023-24 NFL season. It was a fun ride, fun season. But we're still going to talk about NFL as the season goes on. The season's over when it comes to games, but we're still going to talk about news and stuff as the draft kind of picks up. The draft, as it picks up, we're going to have some fun here. But without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you want to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you maybe watched the game and I missed a detail about the game, was there anything specific that I should have pointed out? Was there a turnover that I need to talk about? Was there a play that maybe something spoke out to you? Were you a Chiefs fan, 49ers fan? Who did you want to win the game? How did you see the game? Did you think it was a fun game, bad game? What did you think about the halftime show? Usher, he balled out. What did you think about him? Like I said, leave your complete opinion the whole entire night down in the comment section down below as to what you thought about the whole Super Bowl experience. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Donald Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.